Hello guys, this is Botworld Adventure and this is Ptash. As you can see, I've got a Phantom here and that means I've got him to level 20 and he's also AI 5, so we can review him. Let's take a close look at him as well as at his AI, which is pretty important. But let's start from the very beginning. So actually we should see his abilities. So the basic attack is Phantom Blade. And well, I've tested Phantom already a lot, as I've got AI 5 on him, and I must admit it's pretty slow compared to other chasers. It might be even the slowest attack from all chasers. The animation is pretty long. Attack speed is 0.57 seconds. Let's check out what's the attack speed of Slash, for example. Slash has only a little faster attack, but I think it doesn't really tell you the whole story, you know. I think that the animation is much longer on Phantom. That's why it feels like it's a pretty slow attack. Then there's Fade, and I must admit it's pretty cool, but it's not as broken and not as good as I thought it would be. Phantom can still be attacked when he's not visible, and there is a bug. For example, Frosty, once he starts attacking Phantom, it doesn't matter if he goes in invisibility, Frosty will still attack the invisible Phantom, which is pretty bad. I think it should be fixed. Since Frosty and Flamer work similarly, I think that Flamer would also attack Phantom even though he is not visible. However, this ability is very important when you are facing Phantom, because you know, when you are fighting wild bots, Phantoms go into stealth. The chainer can still grab them, but it doesn't really matter, you know, they are invisible, so your combo won't go off and they will suddenly attack you all at once. They can one-shot your Flamer, for example. So yeah, they are very dangerous, like Phantoms are very dangerous enemies. Finally, we've got Shadow Strike, and I must admit, when I saw the stun duration, I was like, what? It's so long, and the cooldown is short as well. However, we need to talk about something. So the animation is pretty long, and this gives time to escape, especially for evaders, which is weird, since chasers should excel at chasing, right? So chasers should be generally good at countering evaders, but Phantom is not a good chaser. He's pretty slow and his animations are long, so that gives all of that gives time for evaders to dodge him, to run away. So yeah, Phantom is a pretty bad chaser in terms of chasing, if that makes sense. The damage isn't crazy, same goes for the Phantom Blade, but it can be somewhat fixed with the AI, and I'm talking about AI right now. Okay, as you can see, I've got AI 5 and these are my choices. However, it's not final, I would say, and you can definitely choose something else. Especially the first option. So the first option is either Shadow Strike stun duration increased by 50%, or Powerful Strikes, which means that all attack damage is increased by 20%. And I wonder if it also works on the ultimate ability. If so, it's pretty crazy. And I must admit, it was a bit of a tough choice, you know, because that 4.5 seconds stun duration is pretty crazy. But to be honest, there's something about that you need to understand. It's so long that actually rarely you will use it fully, and I wonder if I should just reset the AI and try it out, and I think that I will do that in this very review. So we will review Phantom with either this option and this option. From my initial testing, you don't really need that 4.5 seconds stun duration on Phantom. Like 90% of the time the enemy bot will be defeated before the stun even ends. But it might change in Arena, that's why I will also test him out both in Arena and in Open World. The second option, there's no really a choice, so the fade starts off cooldown once the battle starts. Pretty cool. And the third option is pretty decent. There is a 20% chance to teleport for Phantom once he gets damaged from a melee minion, and it's pretty good, I must admit, because you know, you don't want Phantom to fight melee bots, because he will most likely lose in an even ground. He will lose to tanks and other chasers as well, and not even talking about brawlers, right? The other option actually gives some tools to Phantom to actually chase enemies like evaders, so it's also an option to consider. Well, maybe I will use it too once I change this. Then we will try to make a build that will make him a proper chaser. So again, the fate cooldown reduced by 25%. So you can see these top options are for his survivability, and this is for chasers. And this is again an option for chaser, which is very good, I must admit, because his base slow is pretty bad. And again, this is an option for tankiness, stun resistance. I mean, it's very situational, so I didn't pick it. And this is Shadowborn, so Shadow Strike starts 50% charged. I think it's pretty good. You've probably already seen this, but this is how he looks on the open world map. Okay, so let's go, guys. Let's fight some pretty decent enemies here. Then we will try him out in arena, and after that I will change his AI and we will try him out again. This has to be a pretty proper full review. Okay, so we have enemies here. This is an interesting matchup for Phantom, because he won't be very good against tanks, right? And Frosties also counter him because they slow and he's not very fast. However, maybe the fate will work out for him. Did you see that? As you could see, his ultimate didn't even go off because the animation is so long that Frosty just, you know, ran away. And as you can see, even though Phantom gets into stealth, well, he can be still hit with area abilities and some other abilities as well. Okay, let's look at it again. So there is less tanks here. I mean, even though Phantom doesn't seem as strong as I thought he would be, it's still very fun to play around him. And the fact that you can build him as chaser or some other type of bot is pretty fun as well. I will try him out with some wars combo, but I don't want to fight Frosties really, because this is a specific enemy that counters Phantom very well. Let's try out, for example, Beat and Scatter. Let's stun enemies and let's see how my Phantom will perform. So the enemies are pretty high level, as you can see, 25 is quite high. And I've made a mistake by using my chainer. Still, it's pretty fine. I mean, he's doing good. Like once he has a free time to attack, he's doing very decently, especially that he's fighting level 25 enemies as level 20. Okay, now let's try him out here. And we should use perhaps a beat as well. I mean, now the stun resistance would be pretty good. And I can see why developers gave him stun resist, because if he has to be a tank, you make him like a brawler, right? So I guess it would be fine to give him some stun resist, since a lot of tanks have stuns. Now I want to make a combo with Phantom, and I wonder what could it be. So I think that a good combo could be Halo, Beat and Phantom. So you go fully into his, you know, damage and attacking. You know, I think that might be cool to try out. So let's maybe check it out in Arena. Arena got changed, it seems, and well, I was mistaken. Okay, so I will get my ass beaten, but it's fine, you know. The last time I played Arena, I got really weak opponents, so I thought it could be a bit decent, but it doesn't seem to be the case. I don't know why. Yeah, that's why, guys, that's why it doesn't work in Botworld to not have a combo, you know. I still won. That's crazy. But yeah, you don't win with that setup against high level opponent. So let's go back to the open world, because we can't test things out in arena, which is a bit sad, but okay. Okay guys, so let's now try him out, maybe against a bandit. Oh, okay, that's fine. So I wonder how the combo will work and if it will work at all. So let's go with Beat and him. And you know what? Halo is pretty harsh to time. I mean to make him boost the Phantom, you know. So, I mean, Phantom doesn't perform that well with this combo, I think. But at the same time, he's only level 20. I don't know how I got beaten by Halos and Barrys, but it happened, okay? Maybe let's now try him out against some lower level enemies. I will also get Slash and some other stuff here. So maybe let's get also Slicer and Ram and Slash, so we have some comparison, you know? That looks pretty good, I must say. Maybe let's also change the boosters. Maybe he needs some different ones. So actually I would go for bot damage, as well as dodge, and maybe also the movement speed. This should be pretty cool to look at, I mean. So the DPS of Ram is 1000, meanwhile Phantom has 1600, but you don't really feel that, I think. It's pretty weird. Okay, this is a bandit. Actually, I think it's pretty decent to test him out here. So we are on the even ground. However, the enemy uses a lot of brawlers and scatters completely counter me. That seems much better, but as I said, scatters are pretty harsh. Okay, maybe a buffalo will be a more interesting enemy, and it's definitely up there. He has like a cool combo. Okay, this time let's try out like full chaser team, and I will chase Sheller with my Phantom. Okay, so my Phantom was instantly knocked back, but he doesn't give up. And the damage is pretty good. I will help him out by stunning this thump. I mean, you would expect a bit more damage. Having two boosters that increase the damage, it's pretty weak, I feel like. Okay, I think it's enough of testing Phantom with this AI. Now let's make him a proper chaser and let's see. As of now, I don't see a reason to use him with 4 alt cooldown team. He doesn't really combo well. So I try now to get him some more damage, and well, we'll see. Maybe for epic damage boosters, maybe for epic crit boosters would be good for him as well. It's hard to tell right now. Okay, so we reset his AI. That's 500 gold, and now we go for the damage. Look at that, this is pretty respectable DPS. Especially that he's not even that, you know, high level. 20 isn't good, I would say. Okay, this is now a proper chaser. Let's see. So far, Phantom doesn't seem really that strong. Oh, I've got some rare, but I didn't see what. Okay, that was quite decent, but well, it's still not that powerful, I would say. So let us try again, but I think that I have now a pretty decent picture at what Phantom provides. And well, so far I think that's a pretty good, you know, that's a pretty good display of damage, I would say. The Inspire really works well. Oh, these stamps just won't let me fight at all though. So I've got a pretty good idea at what Phantom brings. And well, he brings some damage, but I must admit you would expect some more from a chaser, especially with such long animations. He is quite decent, but he doesn't really excel at anything. He doesn't excel at dealing damage, he doesn't excel at being a stealth warrior who, you know, harasses evaders and brings them down. He isn't very tanky, he dies pretty fast as well. So yeah, there's basically that. I must admit, when I first saw Phantom, he really seemed like a monster, you would say. Because of that long stun, he really seemed good. But it seems that the stun is maybe even too long. Who knows? But you know what? Right now he seems pretty average. I finally want to test him one more time with the alt cooldowns, so we can see more of his stun in action. Perhaps it will be much better. I hope I will find some good use for Phantom in the future, maybe some great combo for him. As of now, I just can't nail him. Maybe I do wrong AI, maybe something's wrong on my side, you know? I'm not sure. Let's now try to assassinate this Plaggy. Yeah, the stun was there and it's pretty strong. However, 4.5 seconds cooldown means that, well, you don't see that stun that often. And another issue I have with Phantom is how squishy he is. He is very squishy, I mean, he dies to anything, and I can understand why, for example, Slash is squishy, right? Because Slash is just like a pure damage dealer. However, Phantom doesn't have that much damage as Slash does. So it seems weird to me he's even squishier. So let me summarize. I think that for now it's still the best to use Phantom with 4 alt cooldowns, and the AI really is up to your preference. I don't really see his attack damage increase to be that noticeable to not get that stun increase. So this is up to your you know, choice. When it comes to this, it's also up to your choice. If you want him to be better at chasing, you can do bottom, and you can do top if you feel like, you know, he needs some more survivability, which in my opinion is more important. So my final build would be probably the first one I used on this video. When it comes to last option, I think you should almost always get that on the bottom. But you know what, it's still, if you are running 4 alt cooldowns, you are fine without that, and if you want even more survivability, then it's a fine choice as well. So my final opinion about the bot, I mean, he is too squishy for the damage he deals. That's my final assessment, I would say. Like, look at Slash. Slash has even a bit more health than Phantom, who deals much less damage. Of course, the DPS here shows a smaller number than here, but you don't really feel that in battle. I think that the Phantom animation of attacking is so long that it lowers his DPS heavily. I don't really feel like Phantom had more damage than Slash, especially that Slash has very fast animations and also a very fast animation of his ultimate. So yeah, for me, Phantom to be good should have health of Ram. As you can see, Ram has almost twice health of any other chaser at his level. It's just crazy how strong his health is. And I think that Phantom should have the same health, then he would be good. He would be that sort of not maybe a great chaser, but like a tank chaser who works more like a brawler than chaser, and then he would be in a good position. Maybe he should be a brawler to begin with, but I guess because of his stealth ability it would be pretty weird that he had this, so he ended up being chaser. For now, Phantom doesn't seem to be that great. I hope he receives some buffs, and perhaps he doesn't need any buffs and I just need to learn to play him. Yes, so there's that, guys. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Consider subscribing my channel if you enjoy my videos, because more is coming.